So we're talking to Eric Wahlforss, CTO of SoundCloud. And what were you discussing here today at the Web Summit?
Oh, so I had a really fun little interview on stage with Matt from Ninjatune. He's actually the founder of Ninjatune, which is quite a famous London-based electronic music label. And I'm a big fan. So he used to run the act Cold Cut before. So he was one of the two guys. And we were talking, just before going up on stage, we were actually talking about one of the tracks, which is one of my favorite tracks with a lot of strings on it. So it's super fun to finally meet him in person and to have a chat about sort of music, the future, technology, all of this fun stuff.
So you're clearly very passionate about SoundCloud's area, which is music. For anyone who might not be familiar with it, how would you describe SoundCloud?
So SoundCloud today it's the world's largest audio sharing platform. So we reach over 250 million people every single month with the platform today. We have over 12 hours of audio uploaded every single minute to the platform. So we have the full broad spectrum of, bedroom producers, doing the odd track in their bedroom to like the big pop stars and the White House. We have non-music as well. So we have politicians, comedians, all of these genres of audio on the platform. So it really is this kind of crazy place where things go viral and new music genres happen, music culture happens today. So that's SoundCloud.
And you recently made an announcement about some integration with Instagram. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so what we saw is that a lot of artists use Instagram very heavily as well, and so there are about 150 million people sharing photos every month. We reach 250 million people, so we met them 2 years ago or so when they were just started out. They've seen this amazing success with what they're doing, and especially with art, with creative sort of individuals who express themselves over pictures, and we have a lot of those individuals expressing themselves over sound and music, and so bringing them together makes sort of perfect sense. So yeah, we've integrated so that if you as an artist, if you share any sort of piece of music or sound, you can very easily splice that together with your Instagram feed, and you kind of get this audio-visual experience with it.
And on top of that, will that give you increased integration with Facebook as well?
We're always, in talks with Facebook about, anything we can do to sort of make the integration smoother. We integrate with a ton of different networks, so like Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, all of these, different platforms. We're looking a lot at mobile at the moment, what's going on in mobile, and we try to create a great, sharing experience for, anyone who wants to share across multiple different platforms.
And for the musicians that use SoundCloud, there is kind of there are two sides to the coin with musicians and technology. Some of them will herald it as a revolutionary platform that democratizes things, and then some people see the dangers in that musicians might lose out on profits that are entitled to them. Where do you think SoundCloud fits in that debate?
I think we're fairly unique as a platform in that we really embrace the web as a technology enabler, as this new medium that, it's not only a broadcast medium, it's not read-only, it's read-write, right? And it's real-time, if things go viral, you can have deep interactivity with, any creator on the platform. So you as a listener can, if you decide to, you can go in and comment and, interact with these creators. So, now I actually forgot the question, but this is, so I think the artists who sort of understand this medium of the web, for them, the ones who embrace this and sort of use it to the fullest potential for their art, they really, I think, are the ones who benefit the most sort of from this shift that's going on, from this revolution that's going on. So we have a ton of examples, guys like Deadmau5, he puts on a camera in his studio and he sits and makes music and sort of tweets and posts on SoundCloud live while he's doing music, and then all of a sudden recently one of his fans sort of tweeted him back and said, hey, I made a remix right in the middle of one of those sessions, and then he was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, it was actually a really good remix that happened live while he was on the air making music in his studio, and then he ended up releasing that record in the end. So those sorts of things where this sort of real-timeness, this interactivity, this where your biggest fans are actually are co-creators. They co-create. They will repost and reshare whatever it is you're doing through their own creativity, kind of. So that's really where this works the best. I think we try to be very flexible as a platform, as providing sort of a tool set where we give the flexibility for the creator to say, do I want to appear in this or that context? Do I want to allow downloads of my content or not? Do I want to allow people to remix my content or not? And so on. So we try to stay very flexible as a platform to sort of enable this new ways of being creative.
And that's actually what I was going to ask about it. It is very much a community element of people remixing other people's work. So while you have those options there, do you kind of lie in favor of a more open kind of creative approach with open copyright?
So, for me, like we take copyright very, very seriously. We do literally everything we can to be very proactive with things like content filtering. So if someone comes and upload randomly a Madonna track or so, that will be blocked right away, so by automatic filters. So we work with the DMCA takedown process and all of these things. So like we take that very seriously, and I'm not sort of a proponent of some sort of completely open, laissez-faire sort of attitude with this. It's what we're trying to do is it's just sort of partly move this sort of illegal sharing over to something where the artist actually has control, where the labels and the rights holders can do all of these cool, amazing things with their content, while actually still understanding what it is that's going on, and can sort of have some level of control over this sort of very powerful medium that we're talking about.
And in the end, it could benefit the artist as well, as in the case of Deadmau5, who ends up releasing the remixing.
Absolutely. I mean, the most wonderful things happen when you sort of embrace the technology, right? So we had Big Sean recently, a big rapper in the US. He put up just like a 12-bar loop, and he had 800 fans like rapping on it. So it was just like, in a day or two, like he got these 800 fans creating versions of its content. We have this band, Old Montreal, who made like a Q&A session directly on the track in real time. So like we have this waveform display where like you can post comments in the waveform, so you can actually talk about specific parts of the track and lyrics and all of these things. So like if you embrace those things, wonderful things happen, right? But you need to be kind of creative, and you need to think in new ways to be able to do these things.